Welcome to the Great Basin Fire Potential Briefing for Tuesday, September 13th. This is Gina McGuire. Over the next couple of days, we'll see changes to fire potential across the Great Basin. Initially today, out ahead of a cold front, stronger winds will continue over southern Nevada into central and parts of northern Utah, along with low relative humidity. These wind gusts will exceed 45 miles per hour at times and are already breezy this morning. Also, fuels are still critical in much of this area across Utah. Also, near and behind the cold front, we'll see much cooler weather move into the northern half of the Great Basin over the next 2 days, and also areas of wetting rains today, mainly across Nevada, and on Wednesday, mostly into Idaho and Wyoming. Over the last 24 hours, we've seen scattered showers and thunderstorms, mainly across Nevada, and a lot of this lightning over central Nevada has been occurring early this morning. We've seen rainfall reports near 1/4 of an inch over parts of eastern Nevada, and also above 1/4 of an inch over parts of southeast Idaho and western Wyoming over the last 24 hours. We've generally seen light initial attack across the Great Basin, as indicated by the small red circles on the map. Over the last 1 to 4 weeks, we've seen very dry conditions across the Great Basin the last week, the map on the left. This does not include the precipitation we saw yesterday. However, prior to yesterday, the only precipitation we really observed was in the far north. Over the last month, the only wet conditions we've seen has been over the far southern and eastern side of the basin and in the far north, with very dry conditions over the rest of the northern 2/3 of Nevada into northern Utah. And even the precipitation we saw in the north and south has been well below normal for what we would normally see over the last month. How this translates to our fuel conditions: ERCs have generally been high with the drier weather across the northern half of Utah into parts of northern and eastern Nevada after modifying somewhat last week, and also still relatively high over southeast Idaho and Wyoming. However, in the coming days, these ERCs will be decreasing significantly due to the cooler temperatures and the areas of wetting rains. The satellite loop from this morning shows this cold front dropping south with an area of low pressure developing near the Tahoe Basin. Near and east of this low, we're seeing a band of showers and thunderstorms this morning anywhere from parts of the Central Sierra into central and northern Nevada and stretching into southeast Idaho. These showers and thunderstorms will continue increasing through the day. Out ahead of this low is where those gusty winds and low relative humidity, along with drier conditions, will continue from southern Nevada into Utah. Now looking at the weather and fire potential today, we will see that area of low pressure drop further south, with showers and thunderstorms developing more this afternoon over the northern half to 2/3 of the Great Basin. Therefore, we will see the fuels moderate over northern and western sections where the cooler temperatures and some wetting rains will develop today. Over the rest of western and northern Utah down into southern Nevada, we'll continue to see those stronger winds with gusts above 45 miles per hour and low relative humidity, increasing fire potential. The area on the left shows where we expect the showers and thunderstorms today, with the areas in darker green showing a better chance for more widespread wetting rains and thunderstorms. The image on the right shows the wind gusts, which will be stronger than what we saw yesterday, and the image that shows the red and the purple color is generally wind gusts above 45 or even 50 miles per hour today. So even in areas that will have higher humidity, we'll still see stronger or gusty winds. Looking at the winds now side by side with relative humidity this afternoon, and you can see anywhere from southern Nevada up into Utah, relative humidity 10 to 15% alongside those stronger winds. Further north and west, where those cooler temperatures and showers have already moved in, relative humidity will be quite a bit higher. On Wednesday, the area of low pressure tracks further north, and also the showers track further north into the basin. We will continue to see that decrease in fire potential over the northern half of the area, and also even fuels moderate over parts of northern and western Utah. In far southern Nevada, we'll likely see no rainfall. Therefore, fuels will continue to remain steady and may even see slight increases as we go later this week for ERC. Also over far western Nevada, we'll see more limited rainfall amounts. On Wednesday, the showers again move into the north with not quite as much wetting rain, but there will be some areas of wetting rain over parts of Idaho into Wyoming, along with thunderstorms. The image on the right shows the breezy west to northwest winds will continue over the eastern half of the Great Basin, but will be lighter than what we will see today. By Thursday, that low shifts well to the east, and we'll see drier weather moving into the western half of the Great Basin. However, fuels will still remain moderated across the region. Relative humidity on Thursday will drop to the 10 to 15% range over much of Nevada, but still remain elevated over the northeast side of the basin with those cooler temperatures. Also, winds will significantly decrease on Thursday as well over much of the area. Looking at the overall forecast amount of precipitation for the next few days, and you can see where we're expecting those wetting rains anywhere from central in northern Nevada, northeast, up into parts of Idaho and Wyoming, where some areas could see over an inch of precipitation. Even into the eastern half of Utah, we'll see rainfall amounts with the thunderstorms above a quarter or half an inch. Over the rest of southern Utah and southern Nevada, we'll either see only light amounts or no precipitation. As we move into Friday into the weekend, we'll see high pressure building off the west coast, with drier conditions spreading eastward across much of the area. However, again, fuels will still remain moderated from the cool and wet weather early in the week. By Saturday, we'll see that ridging point further northeast across the basin with increasing temperatures and continued dry weather. There may be some higher humidity or even a few showers in the far north, but really much of the basin will remain dry on Saturday and even into Sunday. We will have another cold front approaching the area with possibly some showers into parts of the central Idaho mountains by later in the weekend. However, still drier and warmer conditions continue over the southern half of the Great Basin. And by later in the weekend, you can see how even though some of the fuels moderated this week or will moderate, we will see some drying out in areas of southern and eastern Nevada up into Utah. By Monday, the next front moves into the basin, so we'll likely see an increase in winds over the northern half of the area early next week, along with showers and some cooler weather in the far north, but still drier conditions in the far south. Therefore, you can see our fire potential increasing to moderate again over the southern half of the Great Basin. Precipitation accumulation for the next 7 days is mainly representative of what we'll see over the next 3 days. However, we may see again additional showers over the central Idaho mountains and possibly even into southeast Utah as we get into next week. As we move later in the month of September, we will continue to see these warmer and drier conditions across most of the region. That concludes our briefing for today. If you have any questions, feel free to contact us. Thank you for listening.